Why does someone become a playwright? What occurs in one's upbringing to inspire the desire to give stage actors words to say? Brendan Cowell is a playwright. He's written 9 of them, and just as you're thinking he must be some kind of tortured dweeb banging away on a typewriter in a dusky garret, you realise he actually does surface because he also directs, produces and acts.
And even more appealing, he adores his family, is rugby mad, and it is pretty handy on the squash court. But sadly, Brendan is leaving our shores this morning to pursue his dream of hitting the big time in the Big Apple. He's on his way to the airport, and he thought he'd swing by here first for a chat. Good morning, Brendan.
Hi,
Brendan.
How
How are you?
You literally are flying out this morning, aren't you?
I'm flying out in a few hours, yeah. So we're going to have to rush customs as soon as you guys let me go.
Oh,
yeah.
that's easy.
We can green light everything in Sydney
Can you?
now.
Yeah, I'll just
you know.
tell them I was on David and Kim and they'll push me through.
Love it, love it.
Do you suffer from jet lag?
Yeah, I do a little bit. I mean, I kind of think it's a bit of a myth, jet lag, but it does happen, and it gives you. I like it when you come back to Sydney if you've got jet lag, because then you can use an excuse, and then you can kind of keep telling people you've been travelling a lot. You know.
Yeah.
Do you do anything for jet lag?
I just kind of drink heavily and try to sleep. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah, because you're into
What
the
about you?
melatonin.
Well, melatonin I found melatonin was really good. None of the other stuff worked for me at all. But melatonin was quite good. But I thought a couple of beverages certainly helped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it does
like
help in
it
the
because
process.
it's a strange kind of mental state to be in, jet lag. You wake up at 4, you say very strange things. I quite like it.
Does it inspire you at all? I mean,
Yeah, it does.
Do you, as I said, you've written all these plays.
Yeah.
If you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, do you write?
Yeah, I'll write at any hour. You know, I try to write as much as I can, and that's a good, because I'm usually, the only time I ever see 4 or 5 a.m. is when I'm coming home. So I quite like seeing it in kind of a fresh, new world, you know, on a new angle.
Yeah.
It's a terribly exciting move for you to the US. Why have you made the big decision, you know? I thought you were a homegrown boy determined to stay here.
I know, I've sold out. No, I mean, I'm not...
No, I don't mean that at all.
It isn't an official move to the States. I'm just over there for a while. I'm doing 2 theatre projects here in Australia next year. One as an actor, one as a director. I'm developing a feature film here, and so it's definitely not, you know, I'm done with Australia. I'm not kind of closing off my Australian doors. I just want to get some new visuals, work with some new people, and try my hand over there. I've always been curious about it, and you know, it's a big bad world, and there's a lot happening, and you know, it's pretty exciting.
Are you going there specifically to be an actor?
I'm going there to do whatever anyone will let me do, really, because I write, act, and direct here in TV, theatre, and film. Yeah. And so I'm just, you know, I'll rearrange furniture. I'll do whatever they kind of want over there. But I'm developing a TV project in America at the moment, which is going quite well, and a little film thing. So I don't know. I go over there as me, I guess.
It's interesting too, because most Australians that want to get into the industry will go to LA. You're going to New York. Well, you spent some time there already.
I spent some time in LA, yeah, but I can only handle a couple of weeks before I've had enough, you know, Starbucks and highways. You know, I'm about to combust.
It's all
really.
highways, isn't it, LA?
Yeah, it's really intense. Big cars, and you know, it's a really full-on place. It's And I like New York. I'd never been there, and I just kind of moved there in May, and that's more me. It's got a great kind of walking culture, and there's people yelling at each other on the street, yelling at bins, yelling at anything, and it's, you know, it is absolute sensorial overload as soon as you hit the street, and I just love that feel.
And it's going to help too, because your girlfriend Rose Byrne's there, and you guys have been separated for a little while, you know, location-wise.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice to kind of hook up, I imagine. And
it's pretty good. I've got to say, it's pretty good. You know, we're finally in the same postcode, and
has she got plenty of work on?
Well, she's doing a TV show there, a TV show called Damages, a cable show. So she's working there 6 months of the year, which is kind of why we've got a little place, and, you know, so it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
I want to talk to you about playwriting. It's interesting. Why do you write plays as opposed to being a screenwriter or a novelist?
Well, I've started to write for the screen. I mean, I wrote for Love My Way, the TV show, and I've written a movie, 10 Empty, that comes out next year. But I don't know, I feel most comfortable in the stage. I feel most comfortable in that world, in rehearsals. I think people that are interested in theatre are interested in why the world works the way it does, interested in human behaviour, and that's what the rehearsals are. All these people that are fascinated by the universe, nutting out these ideas on the floor, and I like the live experience. For me, can either be the worst night of your life or the best night of your life, and
we know.
It's really something in between, and I like that extreme factor of it. I also love you know, now we're getting so far into kind of this intermediate, this very, very immediate communications with all the buttons and the screens. I like getting back to that very primal aspect of storytelling, of, you know, man standing before man and telling a very primal, honest story, and
Yes.
and I just love it. It's a crazy little world.
And as an audience member, you can smell the fear, can't you? You can smell
the
and
sweat
feel
falls
the stress.
on you,
yeah.
and the fear, and anything can happen, you know, which is beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been going to a lot of theatre down in Melbourne, and I love it. And I think the standard of theatre in Australia has really lifted, and it's really, really at a good time. But it's interesting, you look at the audience, and the audience is largely older people.
Yes.
How do you get the younger people in there? I know you're involved in this, the Push program at the Sydney Theatre Company. Is that in order to get younger people into the theatre?
That's a large part of it, and you know, I run a Push program down there where we rehearse shows in 8 days. They go on for 3 nights, and they're $10. And we've been doing that for 2 years now, and we've sold out kind of 10 shows. And we have an audience coming in of 18 to 25-year-olds. And
but why?
Because I'm using young writers with young voices. I'm making sure the script's at a really good standard when they hit the rehearsal floor. And I'm creating something exciting. Because it's 8 days, it's like an extreme sport. Anything could go wrong. And it's a bit sexy and dangerous, and, you know, it's cheap.
And it brings people back in, doesn't it?
Because it brings people back in.
I mean, you made an interesting point there about the quality of theatre productions, you know, certainly is extraordinary in Australia, but sometimes we don't necessarily want to be in the big experience. We want to have the, you know, we want to be in the stables, or we want to be somewhere really small.
Yeah.